Let's get on with it. Hey, what's this? Oh. What's this shoe doing here? It looks like Dee's shoe. Dee? Who's that? A friend of mine. What do you mean, a friend? I found Dee's other shoe. Ashley. Dee? I remember now. After I sat down, I took my shoes off because my feet hurt. Holding the shoes that my father had bought for me, I walked toward the back of the cave. It was dark and lonely back there, but I had this weird feeling that my father might be there. The cave smells exactly as it did then, dank and cold. Why was your shoe here? Because Uncle Henry came here. Then what happened? When I saw him, I was so scared that I dropped my shoe. And I started running again. I thought I had to run or I'd get shot. But why? I thought he'd shoot me, like he shot my father. Oh, Dee. This is what I witnessed beforehand. I heard my father and uncle talking in the Silverbird room. Come on, Henry, give it a rest. What belonged to grandfather is rightfully mine now. I already told you, Thomas. He had no assets left. Don't lie to me. You just want to keep it all for yourself. If you won't help me change his will, I'll have no choice. And the story will be that you were so distraught over his death that you killed yourself with this gun. A tragic story, don't you think? You could never shoot me. You don't have it in you. You lost your arm because you weren't able to shoot in the war. Wait. Henry was gonna shoot Thomas, but he couldn't because he lost his arm in the war. Thomas! What are you doing? Henry, wait. Yes. Uncle said this to my father. Do you want the money so badly that you would do this? I don't know you anymore. You're a different person. Then he took the gun from my father's hand. He took it from him. And what he did to my father. Dee. Ashley? Are you okay? So is that how it happened? Weird. If I'm not mistaken, that memory and the other memory are triggers to set up for the good ending. There's gonna be one more thing though that determines the good ending as well. But I think that's right. I mean, I certainly hope so at this point. Wait a sec, Dad. What is it? What do you know about the Edward family? I mean, before Bill's time. A lot of what I know is just from looking at what they left behind. Hold on a minute. Sorry about that. Go on. It's hard to sum that family up sufficiently. But from what they left behind, I'm most likely struck by Henry, who painted the portraits. Why? Actually, I've seen his work even before I came to this island. Where? A small gallery in Manhattan. One painting really stood out. What was it like? It was a beautiful watercolor of a young girl and boy. I fell in love with that painting. I didn't have any money to buy it, so I used to walk by the gallery every day just to look at it. The gallery's owner told me the artist's story. Tell me. The artist lost his right arm in the Second World War. That was his dominant arm, so he gave up painting for a while. But because of his gift and his family's encouragement, he was able to take the talent he had in his right hand and move it to his left. Amazingly, he painted with the same artistry. This piece was one he created after his comeback. But just as he put his life back together, and right after creating a few new pieces, he suddenly committed suicide. That's the story I heard. Oh. So when I came here and learned that Henry was that same artist, I was so surprised. But even after reading what he wrote right before his death, I still don't know what happened to Thomas and Daniel. I guess that will always remain a mystery. No, it can't. Ooh! Bill is deep inside the cave. Hello, Bill. You finally made it, Richard. Why would you do such a thing? I was doing a test run on Trace. It was a success. Congratulations, Richard. You. Everyone's mad at him. Everyone's mad at him. Why did you pretend to be my father? You're a sick, sick person. Calm down, Ashley. I got to witness a girl's reunion with her father after an 11-year separation. At first I was acting, but after looking into your earnest eyes, I could feel my heart warm. Bill. You have your mother's eyes. When I saw those eyes, I wanted to be your father, even if just for a little while. This is really messed up. You're a horrible person, Bill. Misguided, perhaps. Maybe lonely, but surely not horrible. Yes, you are. You lied to me. You did horrible things to the people closest to you. Closest to me? You heard me. Dad and Jessica are your friends. How could you treat your friends that way? You're wrong, Ashley. What do you mean I'm wrong? Richard and Jessica are no longer my friends. But they were. Ashley, adult relationships are very complicated. Sometimes the closer you are to someone, the more it hurts. When things go wrong. So, is that why you hurt Jessica? And rewrote Dad's memory? Bill. Why did you do that to Jessica? I really didn't plan it that way. I didn't think I would see her here. Jessica knew about you, so you... Yes, I'm not proud of it, Richard. It seems that you hadn't told Jessica about me. That's what we agreed on, isn't it? Yes, I suppose. Ashley, listen to me. I wasn't planning on hurting her. That's not why I did it. I wanted you to believe I was your father. Jessica was in the way. But why would you pretend to be my father? It's so creepy. Here's the simple answer. You needed to be there for the second Trace protocol. Why did you rewrite Dad's memory? I already explained that to you. I was just taking Trace for a test drive. No, you're lying. You wanted Dad to believe that he had killed Mom. Why do you think that? It's all becoming clear. How convenient for you if... Convenient for me? What do you mean by that? It would be very convenient for you if Dad was the killer. What are you saying? Are you saying that I am the one who killed your mother? You're a bad little girl, Ashley. To accuse someone of such a heinous crime without proof. Richard, did you fill her mind with all this poison? Cut it out, Bill. Don't talk to her like that. Ah. Who knew you were capable of such parental words? Or paternal words. Paternal. Yes? I don't know. I suppose it's like riding a bicycle. You never forget how to act the part of the father, even if you haven't for over a decade. Shut up. What do you mean you need me for the second trace protocol? That's right, Ashley. Your father was hired to complete his research and create Trace. He received a third-party grant as well as my resources. However, he wanted to keep a part of Trace. He pulled this off by implanting the biometric information of his own daughter in the production model DTS. It wasn't his to keep. I came here after receiving word that Trace was complete. On the way, I checked his notes on the lab PC and discovered all of this. Bill? Ashley, your father is the horrible one. He pretended to be my friend, but then he stabbed me in the back. You can blame him for the death of our friendship. Bill, do you know who my mother's murderer is? Can you handle the truth? Yes, I can. The person who killed your mom has still not been caught. The authorities had no evidence or witnesses. Except for one. One person saw your mother's murderer. Yes, there was one witness. Who was it? Bill, stop. The girl wants to know, Richard. Who was it? Who saw my mom get killed? Ashley, that person is you. What? Well, he's right. I mean, she might have been a tiny baby, but she did see him. Don't listen to a thing he says. But Dad, the details of what happened to your mom, you don't have to think about that stuff anymore. But I want to know. Why are you always like that? What do you mean by that? You ignore the truth and see only what you want to see. So you saw it all, Ashley. You saw the shooting. You saw your mother draw her last breath. Stop talking about that night. Why? Don't you want Ashley to know the truth? I don't want to make her relive that terrible tragedy. Ah, of course, always the considerate father, Richard. Don't be snide. That day 11 years ago when Sayoko lost her life, Ashley suffered amnesia from the shock of what she'd seen. All she would do when she saw my face was cry. I was at a loss. You came to me and told me of the research you were doing here. Dad. Bill, there was a reason I didn't tell you I was working on developing a second trace protocol. I'm sure you've guessed it. What was it? Yes, please entertain us. Shouldn't it be enlighten us? Whatever. I didn't tell you because I wanted to replay Ashley's memory of that night with the second trace protocol and find Sayoko's killer. So you use the government and my money to fund this? And after I found the killer, I wanted to remove the negative memory of Ashley's with the first trace protocol and replace it with a different one. That's quite a plan. Dad? I get it. That's right, Ashley. I should remember. I did it for you. Stop it. Stop what? Just stop the self-sacrificing father act. It's getting old. What are you talking about? Like you didn't know that trace would be used for? What trace would be used for? So, Richard, let me see if I've got this right. It was your sentimentality and memories of the past that made you lie to me for the past 11 years. It wasn't like that. I'm sorry. Richard, you must be the biggest idiot alive. You knew how to develop trace, but you didn't know how to use it. How to use trace? Bill, what do you mean? You don't know what it can be used for? Well, let me tell you. You can use trace to manipulate someone's memories to create the reality that you want. It's basically what you wanted to do. No. I didn't create trace to be used like that. Not at all. You should understand this more than anyone else, Bill. I developed trace to help people. Oh, give it a rest, Richard. I'm tired of your holier-than-thou attitude. It's really dull. Trace is mine, and I will decide how it is used. No. Come on, I'm the one who had the bill for the research. For this research, and I am the one who should benefit from the results. But you said yourself that trace is meant to help humankind. I thought that was why I was working here. Those are pretty lofty words, and here I thought it was just your inability to cope that caused you to make Ashley an orphan. I thought it was your weakness that made you hide from reality. Not any grand goals for humanity for 11 years. For 11 years, you reveled in your solitude and research, never thinking of the cost. Who do you think paid? Me and Ashley. And you call yourself a man. What? But that's why I hired you. What do you mean? For your ability to ignore everything outside your work. Anyways, Trace is done. I'm through with you. I won't let this happen. Bill! You can't use Trace this way. I won't let you. Oh shit.